Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. It's been an incredibly trying year, both here and around the world, so it is my greatest pleasure to bring you what's known locally as the greatest show on turf, live from Yoku Road, as Jeeps plays host to their inner west rivals, the West Bulldogs. Both sides have plenty of new faces after a heavy recruiting drive over the off-season, and with a shortened season due to the enforced COVID-19 break, there will be plenty on the line from the very first whistle here this afternoon. Now remember, folks, Queensland Rugby are proudly bringing you all 4 matches streamed live and free via reds.rugby website. My name is Jay Bohr-Staunton, and joining me in commentary today are a couple of grassroots rugby legends from the great state of Queensland in Dunn Murphy and Tom Christie. Tommy Christie is still in the showers and will be joining us very shortly after starring for the Jeeps Reserve grade side. But with me, as per usual, raring and ready, my good friend Dal Murphy. Dal, how you doing, brother?
Very well, thanks, Jay Bohr. It's great to be here, mate, and excellent to see some rugby back on the pitch.
Oh, mate, I am absolutely fizzing to get into it, but I want to get your thoughts on a couple of things, Dal. Obviously, we know that West have had a bit of a turnover in some new recruits and some old leaving, but there's a real brothers feel, a real brothers flavour to the new recruits they've got there at the kennel this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you look just in the forward pack there, you've got Liam Usher in a loose head prop and Jeremy Skelton. All the Skelton boys went across following their father's footsteps, but you know, in the coaching role there, you've also got former Brothers head coach Carl Marshall. So it'll be interesting to see the style of rugby these guys play. But
then for the Gallopers as well, we said they've had some new faces come over, in particular from South. They've picked up some heavy recruits from the Magpies.
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably the most important one there is Teddy Teller.
Massive.
I mean, what a huge inclusion for the Jeeps team. He's an excellent number 10 and obviously going to steer this team around the park very, very well.
And then on top of that, I mean, they have got some new recruits having come in, but they've had some old heads retire in Mitch King and Dan Gorman. I have got it on good authority, unfortunately, having played against them today, that Dan Gorman is running around in 4th grade. But how much of an impact does it have to the first grade squad not having players of their calibre for this season?
Yeah, I think it's massive, but I think it's like, you know, an ex-girlfriend. You get up, you get on with it, and you move on. You know what I mean? You move forward, and you take this new group of players, and you get on with the process. But in saying that, there was a vast amount of experience between the two of those guys, and there's going to be obviously a large hole left.
Well, at least they're still around the club from all accounts, which is great to see. But on the West front, last year they were an absolutely attacking force in Queensland Premier Rugby. In particular, it was their spine, Dylan, Gordon, Henry and Paisami, all of them missing, at least for the majority of this season, if not all of it. Do you think that's going to be a big issue for the Doggies as they look to kick off their 2020 campaign?
I'm not so much as an issue, but I think, you know, there might be a few growing pains here and there for this, you know, for this young West side. You know, Carmichael, Dongy, him and Spicer are 4 brand new faces in 9, 10, 12 and 13. So it'll be interesting to see how they gel, not only today, but moving forward and into the season.
Now, before we kick things off, earlier this week, the Premier Club men's and women's players came together in New Farm this week for the launch of the competition. Reds TV was there to capture the event. Let's hear from some of the players, including former Wallaby skipper Ben Moen.
On a personal note, I'm really excited because I haven't had a full season down at East, I think, since about 2003 or 4. So it's been a long time between drinks, but no, mate, it's been really good. Nice and refreshing to be around the young guys. Obviously pretty excited for the season, and I think like everyone here, it's been a long pre-season now. We're ready to get into it. There's definitely a massive wave of new talent coming through club rugby, and there's, you know, from what I've seen, there's a lot of guys there who could step up to that next level. All they need is that opportunity, and then they'll get to that point. So it's going to be exciting to see the way that they play this year, and then, you know, I'm sure there's some representative honours waiting for a few guys out in clubland now.
Yeah, we've gotten a couple of stalwarts back. Con Foley showed up, Scotty Gale, Al Horan came over from the Sunwolves, and also Connor Mitchell showed his face around after about 3 years away from the club. So yeah, mate, we got a few in, and also having Big Albert Ane over from Japan in his first year of the club as well. That's going to be a huge boost to our front row. I feel like we have a target on our back every year, Source. Just obviously last 4 years has been really successful for us, making the grand final 4 times, but we know last year probably wasn't the most ideal season, but we managed to get there in the end and get the chocolates, and we know everyone's going to be gunning for us, so we're ready for the challenge. We know it's going to be a straight sprint to the final, and yeah, we're looking really forward to it.
So definitely with the new launch of the WEDP this year, so we're all focusing on development. So thank you so much to Roderick and all of our other sponsors who have done everything to get us to where we are. But we're all very excited to kick off the season with a big bang and hopefully bring home the trophy this year. So.
Well, when I first came along, I didn't even realise there was a women's game back in 2017. So it's great to see it evolve and see how many people are really interested in it, particularly at school. I have a lot of kids that are really excited about it, running programs there, and it's great to see them reach out to clubs like Sunnybank and get involved in their club rugby too.
Stuff there from both the men and women of Queensland Premier Rugby. It was great to see Ben Moen talking so highly of the competition. Now, as always, we want to give a very special mention to the sponsors who support club and grassroots rugby. In particular, Jeep's major sponsor, Height for Hire, and West major sponsor, Medal. Now, Tommy Christie has finally been able to join us, and he's just about to put the cans on his head and say a few words. Tommy, how good is it to get you back in the mixer here for Queensland Premier Rugby 2020, mate?
Probably the highlight of my year so far, J-Ball.
It's been a very slow year from the sounds of it, mate.
No. It's always great coming back and seeing your face. We've definitely got a face for this type of role, but nonetheless, it's great to see footy back in local circles anyway. So really looking forward to this game.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. Now let's run through the team list while we've got them, and we'll start with, I believe it'll be the home side, Jeeps. And we'll have you run through it for us there, Tommy Christie, seeing as you know the boys there, starting with Mossy Takiri there, getting a Guernsey as Jethro Falemi's gone up to the Reds. Yeah,
so a bit of a late call. About 11 o'clock this morning, we had a bit of a change in the ranks. So Mossy gets his first start in Premier Grade, which is great for him. Miley Nguamo is actually not playing today, from what I believe. Late
scratching.
Well, he had a kid last night, so he's now a father of two. I don't think the wife gave him the leave pass, unfortunately.
Well, JR was saying it was 3:30 in the morning. He got the call and it was all done and dusted. He wanted to do it, but it sounds like his missus finally was able to rope him in.
So we've got Miley down, but if he doesn't take the field, Troy Simpkin will take his spot there at hooker. Fred Burke, the stalwart there at tight head. We've got Jamie Rickward for his second start in Premier Grade with Kieran Johnson, who's been around the club as a junior. Ratu V is starting at 6, who's a new addition to the club with Namolo at 7. We've got Michael Richards, the pencil, at 8, Captain Courageous. Debut today for Cullen Cooper-Jones, who's a young kid come up from the Gold Coast. He's got big raps on him from Brad Free. Teddy Teller has made the trek over from South. It's great to have Teddy with his ball-playing capacity there to set the wingers alive, such as Josh Collins in the belly and the Tusiara on the wing, and Samedi Teller, Marlonga in the centres there with Samedi, and then John O'Kent, Mr. Reliable at 15.
And then for the doggies there, Dow, run us through that team list, mate.
Made a pretty impressive front row here with Liam Usher, Bart Ritchie, and the ever-present Gav Luca coming up from Bond University. Rob Pugliavea captaining the side today and partnering up with Will Dearden. Skelton, Anderson and Timoteo at the back. Carmichael, Dongy and Callum Hicks. And then we've got Ahim and Spice in the centres. Navo Salangi and Cooper Whiteside bring out the back. And coached today by Carl Marshall.
Yeah, that one right there at the end, coached by Carl Marshall. That is an absolutely massive value add for the doggies. Obviously, Pat Byron was at the helm for many years, and he's moved on to a role as Director of Rugby at Norths, his former junior club. But Carl Marshall coming back to where it all started for him as a player, as a Colt, and now coming back to take the reins as the coach for the doggies in 2020. And it's this man right here, the pencil, Michael Richards, leading the Gallopers out onto the field, followed closely behind by the new father, Miley Noamo. So congratulations to him and his partner on the new addition to the family. But a lot of new players in this Jeeps 15 here, Tommy, and a lot of them coming from the Magpies. We touched on it beforehand, but that man right there with ball in hand, Teddy Teller, that is a massive add.
Yeah, definitely. Like Teddy's skill set will hopefully suit the style of play that they're trying to incorporate today, along with his brother Samedi, who's returned back to Jeeps, who was here I think in 2013-14. So they're the Ella brothers, we've got the Teller brothers.
Let's see if they can be just as mercurial as the Ella brothers, as we see now the doggies being led out onto the park by Rob Pugliavea. And many new fresh faces in that West back line, having come into the mix, as we said, Dal, losing so many talented players. But before we go any further, we will be having a moment's silence for James Dunn, who tragically passed away last week after a cycling accident. He was a junior coach here at Jeeps and absolutely loved the club, and he's survived by his 3 children and beautiful wife. So we'll have a moment's silence here for James Dunn. And there we have it. So Vale James Dunn there. As we said, absolutely tragic accident that's happened there at such a great family club. Tommy Christie to lose, such a valued member, and as I said, such a young family as well. It's tragic news.
Oh, definitely. I think with it being so unexpected from an accident perspective, you never wish that on anyone. And for someone who had such a big involvement, not only in the junior club but the wider Jeeps community, is certainly going to be missed.
And you'll see the Premier Grade side for the Gallopers today wearing black armbands in honour of James Dunn, and you can actually donate to a GoFundMe for him through the Gallopers website. But there we go, underway, season 2020 of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup, and it's big Misioka Timoteo who lands that one on the full. The former Samoan number 8, moving from the front row back to his preferred number 8 position. And Dongy now, jinking and driving inside his own 22. Isolated, but they've done well, the doggies, to get over that pill and secure it there. Carmichael slings it back for Whiteside, who opts to find the safety of the touchline. Doesn't go too far into touch, and Jono Kent fields that well. And it's the pencil now, looking to get the hands free, and does just that. Kent hit hard there. Ushar over the top. Didn't. Going to work on big Kieran Johnson there. Oh, Timoteo looking to sting some blokes nice and early here, but Mossy Takiri does well to bounce out of that. And Teller now with plenty of space down that far touchline gets over the 22. Jeeps building phases very well here. And Cooper Jones goes for a cheeky little run. And a Mossy Takiri now. And quick tap. Here we go. You can see the hands free from this replay here, Jono Kent. But he's lit up over the top. And during the replay, it looks like try time to the Gallopers. First one on the board. I can't see who it was that got up with the pill. But it was the quick tap there coming in by Ratu Vio. And he's gone all the way from the looks of it. It looks like he's just gotten over there with a little second helping there from Kieran Johnson. Good stuff here early on from the Gallopers.
I'm good. Yeah, it certainly was. Ratu V just catching them napping now. Quick tap, away he goes, and puts 5 points down for the home side.
Yeah, 2 minutes in and already up 5-0. Tommy, I'm sure LV's going to be absolutely loving that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a concept of the game I think we need to continue to evolve, is keeping momentum on the ball, and you saw we were going forward there, so why slow it down for a line-out or set piece, and opportunistic try there.
And that's something you typically see from the Gallopers outfit, really heavy on their set piece. I mean, we were discussing before the broadcast that you're obviously down Mitch King and Dan Gorman, as we see. Cooper Jones sprays that one early on, but you're down 2 of your most consistent, experienced players. Do you think maybe that is something that they're just looking at, not going to go to the set piece as much?
Look, when you lose guys with that much experience, I think you need to continue to evolve, particularly the way we're playing. And it's been from the pre-season, it's been something we've tried to achieve, is not necessarily go away from the set piece, but add another dimension to our game. So obviously taking the opportunity there, it's great.
And I was telling Dow that unfortunately I had the displeasure of knowing for a fact that Gormo's lacing up the boots for 4th and 3rd grade down here at Yoku Road alongside John O'Ellis, former Premier Grade skipper, Josh Zonka, Ryan Freeney. So plenty of experience down in 4th grade here at Yoku Road for 2020. So it's good to see they're still sticking around in the club. But back to the action here. And an early penalty off this kickoff. Just a bit of confusion here in Atuna Isa.
A disappointing skill error there. It's always good to catch the kick-off and exit well, and I'm sure El will be a bit disappointed with that outcome.
And that's something that is a massive coach killer, is getting those points and then letting them straight back in. As Dow smiles and nods very wryly.
How many?
As I'm sure you're well aware, Dow.
6.
And West now opting for the 6-man lineup, going to Dearden in the middle. And they're looking to maul this one up. Well set up here, but good counter maul there from the Gallopers. The Doggies now do well to spin away, and it looks like Bart Ritchie's right in the middle there. And Bart Ritchie looks like he's picked himself up a little bit of meat nice and early in the season. Good stuff there from the big bald hooker.
Look at the beast of the man.
I love it. Oh my God, I love Bart Ritchie. Did you know he's only like 25 years old? Yeah. Bless him. Bless him. But you can see here, very well set up at the back, and there was a good counter maul there, but they were able to spin off. And they just were able to go up against a disjointed Jeeps outfit. So yeah, set piece. Looks like it's actually a bit of a weakness early on thus far, Tommy.
Yeah, I don't think you can read into too much into one set piece.
As I'm wearing a West Polo.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I think the concept was probably more disappointing is the fact failing to exit from that. So, yeah, definitely a good kick-off here is required. And Cooper Whiteside's got the opportunity to put West in front.
I think as we look at that pack there, though, Jabor, from the West perspective, you know, they've done a good job to bring up some experience, and that's quite a large pack. Do you think that set piece would be a big part of what West will do this year?
100%. I think it's safe to say that their set piece over the last couple of years has been lacking on occasion. Not necessarily an 80-minute outfit, as we see Whiteside step up and absolutely nail that one perfectly. 7.5 Doggies over the Gallopers here at Yoku Road, only 5 minutes in, but yeah, they are really working on their set piece. Darryl McNamara now has been there at the club for a while. He's obviously got Carl Marshall, who's brought over a few really top choice players, and Gav Luca, Johnny Tico even. They've got a lot of depth. Yeah, Liam Musher. So a lot of depth is one thing the Doggies haven't had for a long time. So I think you'll see their set piece really start to fire. And here we go, big Misioka Timoteo. Absolutely bumping blokes, doing what he does best. And Jeremiah Skelton says, yes, me too, please. Thank you very much. And Cooper Whiteside now puts that one on the toe. Good probing kick, gets it just before the 22. And Jono Kent now gets a little offload away, finds Richards. Chiefs looking to work their way out deep inside their own half. And Teddy Teller puts that one down, but does well. Spin out of the tackle with Puliovea. And here comes a good counter ruck here from the Doggies. Skelton finds Anderson. Good chop tackle there from Nauamo.
Too good, he's giving away a penalty.
Carmichael goes for a darting little run there. Doggy steps in. Doggies just looking to work up slowly here, knowing they've got the advantage. Timoteo, he's an absolute handful.
Keep an eye on Miley Naguamo there. He looks a bit shaky on his feet after two low chops.
It's what he does best, though, Miley Naguamo. He's absolutely deadly in the tight stuff, isn't he? And the Doggies, good show of intent here, looking to get the points nice and early, putting it in the corner. As we said, clearly looking to back their set piece here. Anderson at the back of the line out. Scrappy stuff there from the Doggies. And it looks like their timing was just off a little bit there from the arriving players. So scrappy stuff there from the Dogs, but still good field position here for the Doggies.
It's a huge opportunity, I think, for them to test out their scrum first and foremost. We've got some Super Rugby experience in the front there with Gav Lucas. So it'll be interesting to see how this scrum pans out, Jay Ball.
Yeah, I was actually having a chat to Freddie Burke last week about how he must be feeling getting back into the actual contact stuff, and he actually said without actually packing any scrums he felt useless.
Yeah.
And I was like, mate, if you can't pack scrums, you are literally a useless unit. Well, it's his bread and butter, and he absolutely loves it. So You see right there, Freddie Burke is absolutely frothing to get into this contact.
He looks fit though.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, COVID served him well. So,
Mate, he is looking good.
just on that, Freddie, when he's asked what position he plays, he does say scrum.
He does say scrum.
Yeah.
And they had their little team set up over the COVID break, didn't they? And they were named after basketball teams. I think
we did.
The Phoenix Scrums.
He did it very original.
He's a very, very sad man, Freddie Burke, but we do love him to death.
Set.
So a big test here for the young loose head prop in Liam Mushy here up against Freddie Burke. It's gone down on the far side, but Duncan Mail says 50-50 call there, so they will repack.
Long bind. Feet up. Yep. Contested, yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see here how Jeeps want to exit from deep inside their own 22. Whether they want to open that angle up with the pencil sort of going off the back or just hammer it straight into touch.
Bind.
It's the beauty of having Jono who can here. He's left-footed,
With
so
his left foot boot.
yeah, play up in the middle, I think, and release Jono there using his left kick.
Better scrum there, and it looks like Usher's turned in on this near side here, but referee Duncan Mail says use it. Fletcher Spicer gets bumped out of that shot there, and it looks like that's a turnover there from the Doggies. Carmichael goes digging, finds Spicer now. Off the left.
No, out.
Timoteo with another carry. The Doggies opting for the tight stuff here. Looking to slow it down. Anderson at the back, weighing up the options. Short ball finds Luca. Carmichael now comes left. Him. Long pass there by him. But it's gone forward. But penalty advantage, it seems, for the Doggies. So another good opportunity here for West.
Some good, excellent lead-up work here. You can see him just forward out of the hands. But the young man, Callum Hicks, probably would have gone over there for a 5 point.
Another brothers boy as well came over in 2019. But the Doggies now again showing their intent, looking to go for the set piece. It was scrappy last time, so it'll be interesting to see where they go. They have to go for the long pill once again. Anderson now finds Dearden. And coming through legally, says Duncan Mail. But looks like the ball's presented well at the back. Skelton. Skelton! Skelton! And Jeremiah Skelton for his new club goes over and gets himself a try, the second one of the day for the Doggies. Sees them extend that lead by 7 points, and this was just sheer determination here from Skelton.
And all too easy, just a leg drive, a little bit of help there from Connor Anderson, and Gav Luca through the back, truck and trailer.
Yeah, Gav Luca, I think he was nudging 130 odd kegs when he was with the Reds. He's dropped a couple of kegs and he's looking bloody good, is Gav Luca.
But
and Jeremiah Skelton, as we said, one of the new members having come over from Brothers following Coach Carl Marshall. Back to the kennel, obviously, we know Ernie Skelton, former Black Dog, premiership winning Premier Grade player as well at the kennel. So bringing the boys back over, loving it. And all accounts, Ernie in his 40s is picking up the boots once again to have another season with the old Black Dogs as well. So keep an eye out for Ernie Skelton running around in the Friday night 6th grade comp.
Just emphasise on how much running there, J-Ball.
Very little. Very little. In fact, I think I might go back and do it as well. It's good fun, that Friday night comp, and Whiteside now adds the extras. So, 14 points to 5. The Doggies scoring at a point a minute thus far in the opening 14 minutes. And after that first early try in the first 2 minutes, it's been all the Doggies since, Tommy.
Yeah, look, they've really controlled field position well. I think Jeeps have been a bit guilty of piggybacking down the field there. Gave away a penalty and obviously succumbed to the rolling ball.
Did it.
Oh,
Didn't look comfortable at all there. And here we go. Bart Ritchie. Bart Ritchie, baby.
Lost.
Oh, Cooper Jones got up with a wry smile. Good on him, the young fella getting bumped.
Loving it.
Carmichael.
How much distance on that?
Looks like he shanked that one big time. And look at this, Bart. Bulls. Oh, how good. Bart Ritchie's going to be loving that one. How good. And that man right there, earlier this week, before the season really kicked off, there was always that question mark after, you know, AJ Alatimu, Davis Taviti. You've had some top choice fly halves over the last couple of years, and there was chat that Jono Kent was going to be sliding into that role pre-COVID, which could have been rocks or diamonds. You'd have to think. Learning a new role, Jono Kent moving in from the wing and fullback there, and could have been a weakness, but to get Teddy Teller stepping up, that's absolutely massive.
Yeah,
absolutely massive.
Definitely massive. Obviously, Teddy is a great player. You know, Jono at one point was looking going to be the solution. Obviously, we've got Jason Hoffmeyer running around in reserve grade as well. He's more than capable. But
yeah,
Jono's definitely got the skill set, and it was just more of a question of his game management.
Of learning a new role there in that fly
managing
half
the game.
role.
So to get Teddy in that role, it sort of frees Jono up a bit more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they work in tandem. But here we go. Josh Collins coming in off that left wing. Oh! Cornelio finds Atunaisa, and Atunaisa goes in on the right side after bumping off Navo's Lungi. Oh, and the glue factory, only a small contingent of them all sitting in their deck chairs, but they are rowdy down in that far right corner.
Absolutely. A great starter play there. It just illustrates how quick Josh Collins is getting on the outside of his man, and great skill set there by Marlonga to free a belly.
Yeah, good stuff there. And then there it is, Marlon Cornelio having come back to the Gallopers. Natunaisa.
Yeah, there'd be better things to do on a Saturday than tackle belly, wouldn't there?
At least Navo Lungi found the humour in that.
Yeah, it won't be the last this year.
Off.
It won't be the last this year. And any kicker's frustration is when the bloke forgets the tee.
Yeah. 40 seconds.
So Paul Cullen's got about 40 seconds to knock this over.
Don't you just take your right boot off and stick it on that?
No, you can't.
Yeah, or go old school, dig a little mound in the ground.
Yeah. This wouldn't happen if you had a boy with a bucket of sand.
Yeah.
Bring that back. That's good gas, I reckon.
And the water boy obviously forgot to do it. Seeing Samu there.
Yeah. Cooper Jones steps up and nails it.
Gets it in.
Look at that. Do that week in, week out. Young man, if you could do that, don't even get inside your own head. You step up and whack it. But he's been able to add the extras. 14 points, plays 12. In the opening round of the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. And we are off to a belter. And scrappy stuff there off the kickoff, but the pencil does well to round that one in. Oh, straight through the middle. Here we go.
Oh, it's offside.
But they might be calling accidental offside there off to Matteo. But exciting stuff there coming through. Ratu Vio goes straight through the middle, looks up.
Accidental offside. Scrum.
And goes straight through.
Okay. He's been impressive so far in the first 14 minutes of this game.
Feet up.
Quick tap try.
Same
And then
message.
again,
Patience.
catching the Bulldogs
Feet up.
napping.
Line up.
Yeah, new member to the squad this year, Tommy. Can you say too much about him at all?
No, he's hard to tackle, I will say that. Not that I really attempt, but Ratu came down a couple of weeks ago and he's been a great addition. Obviously, fantastic ball carrying. His work at the breakdown's been exceptional, hence is why he's got the start at 6.
And look at that, Freddie Burke grinning as he goes down to pack against 900 kilos. Absolute lunatic is Freddie Burke, bless him. But here we come now. Usha looking to get up on Freddie Burke and unable to do so. And Teller now with the bounce pass out to Joshy Collins. Start. There's the offload. Finds Jono Kent. Kent looks to get the arms free, but does well to stay in touch. And Jeeps now with the ascendancy. Deep inside the West 22. And Richards with another carry early on. Now Armo. Tight stuff here coming from the Gallopers. Just looking to retain possession. Cooper Jones now decides to sing it, and Samiti Titella goes through. And just like that, the Gallopers go bang, bang. And they had 2 tries in quick succession, and they now have the lead over the Doggies with a kick to come.
A great try there by Jeeves. They had the momentum going the same way, and I think Jeeves of old would have probably kept them the forwards and rolled it forward there. And Smetty stepped up, playing really flat there, not allowing the D to adjust, and there you see him go straight through. So great try, I'll be happy with that.
And not too much to it at all. He just saw he was up against big Rob Puliovea and another forward. So good eyes up footy there from Teller.
How important is that combination going to be this year for you, Tommy? You've got the 2 Teller brothers, obviously at 10 and 12.
Yeah. Look, yeah, they've obviously played a fair bit together as kids when they were at Ipswich Grammar and then in club stuff as well. But look, Samedi actually he's a bit of an unsung hero. He's got a great communicator. Obviously, Teddy's got the skill set as well, but they really complement each other well.
And we see there 19 points, plays 14 as we come up on the 20-minute mark here at Yoku Road.
Interesting to see if there can be a clean kick-off taken here.
Yeah, it's been scrappy off the kick-offs for both sides thus far. So they'll be looking to clean that up. Whiteside drops that one just outside the 22. Fielded well there by Richards. Now Armo.
Good carry.
Jones goes down the blind side here, and Atunayisa puts that one on the toe, but just dribbles it into touch.
Yeah, not a great exit there by Jeeves. They had a bit of momentum there. I'd like to see him probably shift it and use John O'Kent's left foot for that open field, but nonetheless, West's line out so far has been pretty good, so it'll be interesting to see what they throw up here. What would you like to see him do, Dow? Maul it or play with it here?
I mean, have a dig, 40 out. The field's pretty open here. It's a huge opportunity.
One of the about a drop zone, right?
Absolutely.
And opting once again to go long there. And Skelton assisted by the referee, but now Armo again. That chop tackle is absolutely deadly. And the Gallopers now do well. Good counter-up there.
Oh, look at that.
Bushka, how good is it?
He's back.
Cop that, Jeremy.
Shane Arnold there in the crowd.
Yeah, I've heard he's down here running water for resis and so on, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's been great. He's been down at training as well, doing a bit of skill work. It's always great to have Shane down at Jeeps.
Not a bad injection to have a coach of his calibre.
Yeah, and bloke as well.
Down here.
Some great bloke as well around the group.
But Jeeps now, good opportunity here about 10 metres out from the Doggies line. They go to the middle there through Richards. Well set up now.
3, don't swim.
Looks like Ko Yuffa at the back. And he spins out now, Yuffa.
Want me to pull?
Up towards the 5 metre line.
Thank you.
Rickward with a carry, and now Takiri. Cooper Jones. Looks like he might be locked up here. But they've still got the penalty advantage.
5 goal. So we had 4 impacted and 3 what was swimming around as well.
Yeah, just saying there, 2 and 5 from the Doggies.
No, you didn't impact it. 5 was the issue.
Great to see Duncan Mail out here for his first Premier Grade experience. Obviously been around the traps for a very, very long time and a vast amount of experience in the refereeing game.
Yeah, well, I was surprised that it's actually his Premier Grade debut, to be honest. As you said, he's been around the traps for a very long time, so it's good to see Dunk the Hunk, as he's known, getting a Guernsey in Premier Grade. Good stuff. But now, It's now Armo at the back, and they're grinding here, the Gallopers, doing what they do best, and they're not going to go too much further than Miley. Now Armo picking up a try here, and he'll be chuffed that he's come back and picked up a little bit of a meat pie after obviously becoming a father overnight. So big 24 hours there from Miley Now Armo.
What a weekend.
It's going off for the big man. But just too good here, the Gallopers. They were set up far too strong when they're set up like that, inch by inch.
Well, there's your answer there, Joe Boy. You're asked if the set piece would
Still a
suffer as a
weakness, give
result.
it time. It's still a weakness, give it time. Nah, they were just working their way into it. Where the boys from the 4060. But now it'll be Cullen Cooper-Jones, the young man. The youngster stepping up, looking at the extras. His first kick was an absolute bludger. He's been on song ever since then. And Cooper-Jones nails that one and bends it.
Short.
But didn't strike it too well. And it's fallen short there. So still just a 10-point lead here for Jeeps.
Bit of a westerly there kicking into.
Yeah, it didn't look like he struck it all that well though, did he, Tommy?
No, probably need to kick through it a little bit more there if you're kicking into a bit of a wind. You don't want to kick it too high, so it gets caught up like it did on that occasion.
And then Whiteside again once. Again, smashing that one straight down the throat of the Pence once again, but uneasy there, and it's Callum Hicks coming through. But wrapped up there by Kieran Johnson, but looks like they're going to be able to get that one back, and that one doesn't come out without anything illegal there.
That's got snow on it, that ball at Cooper Whiteside kicks. He's got the highest kick off I think
It's
I've ever seen.
ridiculous.
Pardon? Yeah, fair.
Bart Ritchie, all that is, man. And they're just scrappy there off the kickoffs.
We'll probably excuse my lack of sleep there, but not a great lift nonetheless.
Still impacted by
Should be down to practice, boys. It's been a while since the boys have been on the field.
And who likes practicing kickoffs anyway?
Oh, God. It's a waste of time, isn't it?
Clearly. How far is this going to go from the source here, Dow?
Not very far,
Not at
mate.
all.
Tuck it in, put it under the wing and go for it.
And there we go, Skelton looks to work that one back there.
You're out.
And it looks like it's scrappy stuff here, and Jeeps look like they've been able to work their way into it. And Carmichael's able to dig in deep. And some stinging D coming in over the top there. And the doggies now looking to work their way up inch by inch, doing what Jeeps do best,
Hands up.
keeping it in tight. Now they look to sing it. Dongy finds him.
Great hunt there.
Canelio over the top there.
Off the leg, play on.
And scrappy ball out the back, but off the legs,
There it is. Playing advantage.
says referee Duncan Mail.
No release.
Still playing advantage, it sounds like, for the doggies.
Off.
And Picky going here, but now Carmichael sees space down that blind side. Navo side Lungy back into Dongy. And Dongy looks to back his way in, but he's held up. But coming back now for the penalty.
They've been impressive every time they've come down into Jeep's half here, West. They've retained the ball very, very well. They've kept it in the forwards. They've also changed their point attack, which is good to see. They're looking to come away with some points now.
It looks like the Dogs have opted for the scrum, but who's that down in the background
Ratu, I
there?
think, mate. I think it's the 6.
Yeah, Ratu.
No,
yeah,
sorry. So it's
Andrew Namalu,
Kamala.
Keu Yatha. And look at Atuna Isa. Look at the neck on him.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wouldn't look out of place in the 2 jersey.
Unit. No. But not every day you see a side opting to go for the scrum against Jeeps. So you'd have to say they're really backing themselves in, are the doggies.
And we see Samu Karevi there on screen. Tommy, has he been down much, helping the boys out?
Samu's had frequent fly points down there. He's been great. Ever since COVID sort of hit and he's been stuck in Australia, he's been down, involved in everything. Training, he doesn't sit anything out, and he's been a real voice, and particularly for a lot of the guys who've got ambitions to play that next level, he's been a great example of what's required. So he's helped a lot with a lot of the younger guys in the squad as well, but also the older guys around having his professionalism has really helped the group.
And Will Genya, who's played Cooper, has been getting in the mix of late as well, hasn't he?
No, it's I guess the benefit of having two of their brothers both playing at the club. Will more so than Quade. Will's been pretty consistent over the last 2 months, 3 months really, and he's been great working with the Nines and again, like seeing his professionalism and what made him such a great player for such a significant period of time. He's been great in sharing his knowledge. Where would you like to see this starter go, Dale? What's your pick if you're a betting man?
Mate, if I'm a betting man, I'm assuming they're going to keep the ball in and have a dig with the scrum. I wouldn't mind seeing them go the right-hand side, though.
Yep. Take the 9 out of play.
Yeah, take the 9 out of play and have a dig, try and isolate that winger and give the West Wing a one-on-one.
And while we've got a bit of a break, as always, we want to give a major shout-out to the major sponsors for both Jeeps Rugby Club and West Bulldogs. Height for Hire, the major sponsor for the Gallopers, and Medal for the West Bulldogs. And, of course, a special thank you to All Sports Physiotherapy, the competition naming rights partner for 2020 for their ongoing support of grassroots rugby in Queensland. And now the Doggies looking to test their mettle up against arguably the best set piece in the competition in the Gallopers. They're looking pretty good, but they're starting to crumple on that far side through Gad Luca. But Misioka Timoteo, the humongous number 8, looks to pick that up and does well in scrappy circumstances. But the Doggies now having to slow things down. And it's scrappy stuff here.
Put yourself in that position.
Jeeps going to have to be careful here. He's given a couple of back-to-back penalties in the 22, attacking 22, so wouldn't be surprised if there's a word coming Michael Richards' way.
Yeah, it looks like Rob Pulliavale was just in the ear of Duncan May a little bit there, but here comes a quick tap through Bart Ritchie. The Doggies backing themselves in here.
Correct. 8-16, leave it.
Huge call there, Amosi Takiri. Good stuff there from the young prop. Seeing the ball was out.
Sure you can do that.
But I thought that might have been a tough call on Timoteo. Did have his hand still in the back of the ruck, but good eyes up footy there from the young prop, seeing that ball spew out. Diving on the pill.
They take a lot of confidence from that, Jeeps. West have been down here and come away with points on both occasions, and to hold them out, great testament. Probably not a great distance that they've got there off that kick, but nonetheless, another good exit, and they'll be back down the half.
Jeeps now opting to go quick to the front of the line out. Charging in midfield. Jeeps now bounce back down that far touchline, back
Mossy.
inside. Great show of hands here from the Gallopers. And Cooper Jones now up over the 10. Quick pick and go here. Johnson.
Shift it to the open
Richards
side,
gets her hands free, so Teller and Freddie Burke down that far touchline. Can't see space. Gets her hands free. Cooper Jones.
Great try, Kieran Johnson.
And that is beautiful footy there from the Gallopers. Going 80 metres deep inside their own half. And that is champagne rugby there from the boys from Ashgrove.
Mate, I tell you what, that's got to be one of the tries of the season, even this early in the piece. That was absolutely incredible. The set of hands from Takiri and Michael Richards was absolutely phenomenal.
That little pill there, and Mossy Takiri.
John O'Ken has a hand in 2 or 3 of these. Absolutely phenomenal.
And then the quick pick and go here, but then John O'Ken here. When they go for the quick offload here, Freddie Burke down that far touchline. But here it is, John O'Ken seeing the space down that far side there, that right there, able to get the hands free. Joshy Collins, Cooper Jones, and then Kieran Johnson, Johnny on the spot. But it's great to see KJ there, Kieran Johnson being able to pick up a meat pie, and he's testament to the club system you've got here at the Gallopers, who's been toiling away in that reserve grade side for the better part of 2-3 years, and he's been an absolute standout for him. And now, obviously, under the tutelage of guys like Dan Gorman, now getting his chance once he retires, it's good stuff to see someone coming through that system.
Yeah, definitely. Look, KJ's been at the club, I think, since he was 6 years old, and for him to finally have a real opportunity to cement himself in the Premier Grade side, he's taking his opportunity currently at the moment.
And he's looked good over the last couple of years when he does get in Guernsey.
Yeah.
And so it's good to see him developing into a good Premier Grade prospect here at Yoku Road. And Whiteside again. Tackle! Leaves that one hanging.
Out of there. Well done.
So Richards does well to field it. Teller gets that short ball there, Ratu VO. Good pill there from Teller, finding the space on the outside through Jono Kent. Bouncing off the back there of Doggy. And Carmichael does well to field it. So the Doggies now with a good opportunity. The final 8 or so minutes of this half. Richie with a little offload there finds Dearden up over the halfway. But he's isolated. But no clear release there.
Down, no release.
Yeah, Kari Yuffa, unfortunately no clear release there. It'll be Whiteside. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of purchase on this one deep inside the 22 to give the Doggies every opportunity to claw back this 18-point lead. 17-point lead, sorry.
18 to go in front, Joe.
18 points to go in front. That's what I was trying to say. Thanks, Tom. I'll be lost without you, mate.
Here for you.
But just outside the 22 now, the Doggies. The Doggies now still looking to set this maul after the initial one fell down. And Gav Luca at the back. And this is well set up. They're rolling well here, the Dogs. 10 metres and counting. Still going. And there's the arm out for the penalty advantage.
Step 2.
Doggy looks to go for the crossfield kick. Callum Hicks. Johnny Kent definitely had the height advantage there, but Doggy drills that one directly into touch. But as we said, still penalty advantage.
No.
There's not much we can do with rolling away from this.
No. That was clear. Let's go. Bring it down, number 4.
Yeah, saying there's not much they can do by way of rolling away, despite the fact that wasn't the penalty. The penalty was pulling it down there, Pencil, but good stuff.
Finger on the pulse.
Experienced campaigner there.
Nice and clear from Duncan though, which is good.
But the Doggies again looking to go for the points here. Really backing themselves in at set piece time. Oh, that's ugly, but didn't need a tall jump there either way through Pulilva, and they're well set up. Well set up there, and they're surely over. Oh. But Duncan Mayle says held up there.
The ball's been a bit of a feature today for the Bulldogs, J-Ball. Is it something they've worked on in the off-season?
Yeah, I think it definitely is. I mean, Carl Marshall, we know, he's an attacking guru, but Daryl McNamara, he's been there for a bloody long time. If there's one thing he knows, these forwards play. So I think he's finally got the cattle, you know, some old heads, some old campaigners with some big boys, the likes of Gav Luca and Jeremiah Skelton and so on. So I think they're really going to be looking at that as an attacking weapon, especially considering having lost their spine in Dylan, Gordon, Paisami and Henry. So it's good to see they're really backing themselves in with the set piece. And here we go, the young buck, Liam Musher up against Freddie Burke. He's doing pretty well, but here comes Burke. And Amosi Takiri on the far side looking to get up, but Teo goes off the back. But he's isolated there. Does well to get that ball back. Short hands there. Doggy just taps it back. And Navo Sailungi. Ben Navo Sailungi comes back off the left. and picks up a 5-pointer there, just what the Doggies needed to claw back this lead. 18 points to win it, as we said, Tom.
And they get a nice strong platform here, but Timoteo, hasn't he been impressive today?
Absolutely.
Big ball-looking number 8 off the back. And then I think it's an excellent ball here by Liam Orshie that puts the boys on the front foot. That little tip on, nearly fucked it up, and then we're back over there.
Yeah, great skill to pick that up there and finish it. But I think it just is compliments where West obviously dominance in the last sort of 5 minutes to come away with some points. So they'll be looking to exit well and put themselves in a good position moving into half time. Is Connor Anderson off?
Yeah, it looks like Connor Anderson off, and I think it's John Martin Stewart. He's like a big Swedish Terminator out there. He's an absolute unit. New fella having come over to the club. I don't know where he's from. I think he was grown in a lab, to be honest. He's an absolute specimen and a half. And Cooper Whiteside, as he sprayed that, no, he's just snuck that one in the right upright there. So 31 points, plays 21 with just a couple minutes to go here at Yoku Road. And a high-scoring affair, nice and early here. 52 points already in the first half. It's what we like to see here.
It's probably a benefit of the comp kicking off obviously this late. You know, the dry conditions we're playing in. You know, in the middle of winter when it's a bit sort of wet and soft and slippery, both teams are using the ball, which has been good to see.
And Jeeps opting to go for the long kick-off there, but Cooper Whiteside has absolutely slammed that one up towards the halfway. And there we go. Good turnout, as we said. A lot less people due to the COVID-19 restrictions, but still a good turnout here at Yoku Road. It's awesome to get a packed out crowd here, but
never onside.
Nowhere near. And look, we go for the quick tap. Only about 15-20 metres off the mark.
Kick for the corner.
Absolutely.
Yep, still just a couple minutes to go here in the first half, so Teddy Teller says let's go for it. And that's a good looking kick deep inside the 22, and that is a perler from Teddy Teller. That is exactly what you need coming in to round out the first half. What a ripping kick there.
Couldn't have placed it anywhere, could he?
And he didn't even take his time, just stepped up and whacked it. He's a bloody good footballer, it's Teddy Teller. Armo now goes to the front with Johnson.
Okay, 6 you're out, 6 you're out. Okay, that's stopped.
And it's stopped there. You heard from Duncan Mail saying use it. Cooper Jones goes short ball on Atunaisa. And there's a second try there to the big Fijian winger, Abuela Atunaisa. Absolutely chopping up out there.
He certainly is having a field day. Getting the ball in some terrific positions and executing perfectly to put his team further ahead, or further in front.
Well, obviously, Teddy Teller creates a lot of attention on him, but you know, great line there by Belly, and he's gone on the inside. And unfortunately, can't see who quite that was. He slipped over, but
looks like Jacob Carmichael, unfortunately.
It's probably a safer option, to be honest with you.
A preemptive slide there from Jacob Carmichael.
Yeah.
But this will be the final play of the half. Cullen Cooper Jones looking to add the extras to extend that lead back out. But we've got to give a shout out as well. Obviously, we know the Reds host the Rebels at Suncorp Stadium in round 7 of Super Rugby AU on August 15th. So head to Reds Rugby to secure your tickets for that match. And Cooper Jones as the extras and nails that one easy. And that'll be half-time here at Yoku Road for the opening round of the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. And it's been an absolute shoot fest thus far. 60-odd points and counting to round out the first half. But, boys, it's been back and forth. And early on it was Jeeps, then the Doggies had some ascendancy. And then the Jeeps, the Gallopers were able to round that one out.
Yeah, very much so. It hasn't been a hell of a lot of continuity, I guess, from back-to-back scores from teams, and you probably expect that first game back into a competition setting. But it's been really entertaining, and it's great to see club footy back alive.
And Dow, I know Carl Marshall, we know he loves that expansive brand of footy. We haven't really seen too much of it. Do you think he'll be looking to maybe keep it a bit tighter coming into the second half, or do you think he might be looking to give it a bit more licence?
No, I think it'll stay tighter. I think what they're doing really well is getting some good pay in tight, you know what I mean? Specifically when they get down in the opposition's half. So I think we'll see a little bit more of playing field position. Cooper Whiteside will step up, get him in good position, and they'll try and execute from there.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens coming into the second half, but we're going to take a quick break, so don't go too far, and we'll bring you all the action from here at Yoku Road. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half here at Yoku Road. Jeeps playing host to the West Bulldogs in the first round of the post-COVID break enforced 2020 season of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. And we saw there the pencil laying down the law there at halftime. We've got to ask Tommy Christie, what do you think it's going to be coming out of the camp there from LV and Co?
I think the big thing from there is just building on their continuity. I think, in particularly in phase play, you saw when they held on the ball, they scored that really, really good try. It's more of that, I think, you'd be stressing, is looking after the ball when you're taking it into contact, but then also the support players getting there to ensure that the game speeds up. It's a bit of a habit that the game can slow down after half-time, so I think he'll be really emphasising to pick the speed up as a result.
And what about you, Dow? What do you reckon Carl Marshall would have been saying there in the sheds there for the Doggies?
I think it'll be much the same, trying to get down and into Jeeps' half and playing a lot of footy down there. But also defensively, I think it's shutting down those little tip passes that they're doing. Obviously, they're catching offloads. Offloads has been obviously impeccable for Jeeps here in the first half. So shutting down those types of things.
And we're about to get underway here. Duncan Mayle, our referee today, as we said, making his Premier Grade debut. And he's been going pretty bloody well in the opening half, and he'll be getting us underway once again here at Yoku Road. It'll be Jeeps fielding that one. Short ball there for Atuna. He's starting to go straight through. Carmichael, the young halfback, does well to bring down the big right winger.
Well done.
And there's the penalty there. It looks like Duncan Mayle saying, coming in from the side here.
Pass, taking the man. Get off your feet.
No, coming past and taking the man. So that's
He took the man out.
good little pressure reliever, nice and early here for the Doggies, giving them an opportunity to get deep inside the Gallopers' half. And that's the thing, Dow. They haven't been sort of too bad in their own half, but they're really good when they're coming away with points when they're deep inside the Gallopers' own 22.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think now will be an opportunity for them to execute again. I think Bart Ritchie, from my perspective, had an immense first half. Obviously scored a bit of meat there, but was just absolutely everywhere. And I think he's a real driver of this forward pack.
There he is, Bart Ritchie. All that is man. Drills that one straight to the middle. And it's Ahim. Good heavy unders line there from Paul Ahim, having come back to the kennel after missing 2019. Good to have Paul Ahim back. And Timoteo now taking 3 or 4 blokes to bring him down. And after the bounce out the back there, Dongy off the right, dancing through. Seats Cooper Jones once again. And Bart Ritchie goes straight through. Go Bart! Up towards the 5 metre line. Don't you love it?
Thank you.
Hookers in open space. An absolute sight to see. Usher, short ball. Sean Martin shoots. Oh, shoot goes over. Again, a strong carry there. We saw it deep inside that second half through Jeremiah Skelton, just working hard to get over it. And again, John Martin Stewart does well there. 5 metres out, hits contact, but those post-contact metres gets him over the line.
Swedish Terminator, too good.
That's him. And here it is there. I mean, that contact was made nice and early, 7 or 8 metres out, but he was able to identify John O'Kent. And too big, too strong there.
I think there with that carry, he got to the outside shoulder rather than coming back on the inside where the defence is coming from. Hence is why he had such a good leg drive and post-contact means that you're talking about, J-Ball. I think it's when you get to the 22, you don't want to be going back in when the defence is most set, and hence is why he got over the line there.
That lead-up play by Bart Ritchie. You got a little bit excited there, J-Ball.
I just love it. I just love
the rugby time.
Bart Stees. I always say, if you need to tape anything more than just your ears, you shouldn't be playing the game of rugby, mate. Tape your ears, go bald, streamline, have a sloppy rig, play a good game of footy. Mate, I'm all about it. I just love it. I love front rowers in open space, hey.
He was impressive.
You can see how terrified they are.
But ball at 2 hands, he seemed like he was perfectly under control.
Yeah, looking like Bernie Larkham there, mate. Bless him, Bart Ritchie. Takes a lot of pressure off me, that's for sure. But there we go. The Doggies early in the second half, picking up the first 5 points. Hopefully both sides don't put the cue in the rack. And they start to shoot the lights out. It's Cooper Whiteside again.
Oh.
That is an absolutely probing kick there from the young fullback, and he has drilled that deep inside the Gallopers' half. That is an absolute shoe and a half.
Yeah, see, out of the 15 blokes they could have kicked off to, he's probably the last one you'd want to kick off.
Straight down the throat.
They've done it twice now, Tommy.
Yeah.
Onside, use the touch it.
And he's going to have to step up now, Cooper Whiteside. He's been in the mix now for a couple of years, and with that attacking spine having left the Doggies for 2020, he's going to have to step up. There he is! John Martin Stewart. And too high there from Johnson. He's done well to get that pill back. The Doggies, they can taste blood in the water, it seems, and they are up for this one here. Navo Salungi fields that one on the full. Opts to go quick. Whiteside slings it back in. Him. Weighs up the options, and that's an absolute shocker. Goes straight into the hands of Teddy Teller, who finds Canelio, who puts it down, and Hicks now. And it's scrappy stuff both ways there. But Paul him will be breathing a sigh of relief after Canelio spilled the beans there.
Jeez, what a pass.
Only about a metre and a half forward.
Teller. I think it's just lucky. This ball was put down.
And Canelio there, you would have thought Callum Hicks was on him, but we know how deadly Marlon and Canelio can be.
In these first kind of 5 minutes here, I think West have really stepped it up from a defensive perspective. They're getting up the line, they're being a little bit more physical, and they're really keeping Chips down here in their own half.
There he is. The big man, Chips Blanche, legs crossed in the background. He was actually meant to be joining us in the commentary box today, but they've had 3 tight heads go down in the past 3 or 4 days, so the big fella's had to lace up. He's looking pretty salty about it too.
Absolutely.
Check him out, eh? Bless him, Chips Blanche. And Dongy drops that out back. Whiteside charge down. Canelio bouncing around Collins. Joshy Collins able to get that one there, and it looks like Fletcher Spice has been able to get that back, but no. Cullen Cooper Watts Jones comes in, and the pick and go there. And the Jeeps forwards looking to keep this one tight, and they are chewing up metres with ease. Ratu Vio now. It looked like there might have been a hint of a knock on there, but referee Duncan Mail says play on.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage there against Pulil Vea coming in from the side. And Jeeps now.
Johnson.
Kieran Johnson looking to get second try for the day.
They've got advantage, Green. Blue, sorry.
And then Kyle Yatha gets that pill back. Samiti Teller puts that one on the right wing there. Atunaisa breaks free. And Abella Atunaisa picks up his third for the day. And the big winger is having an absolute field day. 3 tries, 45 minutes in.
Great vision there by Samiti Teller. Obviously both teams got pretty narrow there. Belly held his width well and came away for meaty.
He certainly did, but Jeeps have really kind of put West to the sword. I thought West were looking really, really good, but they've got down, they put the pressure on. As you said, Samisi Teller finds the big man out there, and they get over the line.
It's a bit like big brother versus little brother there.
Got a feel for old Callum Hicks.
Yeah, there is a big disparity in size and weight there between. Look at him. You can eat sushi off that back. It's enormous. Absolute unit is Abella Atunaisa, and he's a big get coming over from South, obviously. A big contingent. Sunio Finofiuiaki has been running around down in reserve grade. Obviously, the Teller brothers. Ralph Yavalu's come over, Amori Wangamalungi.
Well, both Ralph, I think, Amori are both out for the year, unfortunately. With Amori, I believe, still in Fiji, and Ralphie hurt his knee in the trial period.
Stinger, mate. They're arguably 2 of the best attacking players in the competition in Ralphie and Amori Wangamalungi. We know how deadly he can be, but, we've still got some absolute talent out there. Josh Collins, absolute speed demon. He's going to be chopping up on the left wing, you'd have to say, all season. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game goes, because they are absolutely going for it both sides here. 45 points placed, 28. The Gallopers over Jeeps, and here we go. Atunaisa breaks 1, breaks 2, breaks 3. and has to get brought down by a fourth there. No Armo. Accidental offside there. But they had the penalty, the scrum advantage there.
Yeah. Going for
I think Freddie Burke's got a smile on his face because he gets a pack of scrum. But look at this. Breaks one, breaks two. Shoves off Puliaveo, which is no mean feat. And then it's that man, Callum Hicks, coming in, bringing him down. He's an absolute unit, is Atunaisa. And he's been good today, Cooper Whiteside, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has, but I think you made the point before, Jable. He needs to really step up here and start to control this game from the back.
Square blue.
Put West in good attacking positions and try and allow them to get back into this game.
Bind. Patience. Keep the gap.
And Duncan Mail there just asking the guys to keep a gap. Don't want to slow things down too much come scrum time. But it's been a great battle today in the set piece. The scrum in particular, as we know, Jeeps are absolute just maniacs when it comes to scrum time. And have racked up just hundreds and hundreds of points over the last few years. That's scrum time, but they've drawn the penalty there with the early push, and they opt to go quick there. Atunaisa! I think that's a new man. Jack Middleton's come on, and first touch, he's been absolutely smashed there by Atunaisa. Welcome to the game there, Mitters. Look at this push. Yeah. See you later.
Oh. Freddie Burke's out there, Tommy, getting a bit chirpy.
Yeah.
He's loving it.
He is. Freddie's quite the competitor. He's the unsung hero in many regards. He goes about his business, but he's always quick for a bit of a sledge, Fred.
Inside.
There he is again.
Nice run by him through the middle.
Yeah, him putting his hand up a few times already in this second half. But there's a scrappy carry there from Middleton, and there's the turnover. Kieran Johnson gobbles that one up. And Skelton throwing himself into it. Now Teddy Teller back inside. Good ball there, finds Canelio. And they're getting the hands free all too easy here, Jeeps.
Right idea. Obviously the winger was up and there's space down there. Just the execution was off there by young Cullen.
Yeah, I love the fact that, I mean, young fella, Cullen Cooper-Jones, but he's in there and he's having a red-hot crack, not afraid to back himself.
No, he's got great skill set. As I said earlier in the pre-show, he comes with really big raps on him from Brad Free, former Reds half back in the 90s, I believe. And look, his skill set's exceptional.
And the doggies go off the top of the line out. Him now with another carry early in the second half. Looking to get more involved. And Ratu Vio throwing his weight around. And there he is again, flying in for another shot there on the young halfback in Carmichael. Gav Lucas steps into half. A bit of a nothing play there from him. Just turning the ball over cheaply. The ball bobbles at the back there. Duncan Mail calls the penalty there. So it's getting scrappy here from the doggies. It looks like that was just a bit of a nothing play. They didn't have anything on the radar, so opt to put it on the toe, but scrappy stuff there.
It certainly was. They just got to find their feet here again, relax, play some footy down the other half and get on with it.
And I've been loving the amount of carries Paul Hims had in this second half. In the first 10 minutes, he's had more touches than he did in the whole first half. So it looks like he's looking to inject himself a bit.
Absolutely. He's trying to make his presence felt, and I think that's the most important thing for him to do. So it's going to be a positive impact if he can get the boys going forward from lineouts and set piece.
Noamo finds Richards in the middle there. Teller. Rio bringing Atunaisa back under. And Dongy hanging to him. Great ball there. Finds Cullen Cooper-Jones. And he is absolutely chuffed as the young halfback. Racking up the points that brings up the half ton there for the Gallopers.
It's a well-worked move there by the GPS backline. I think it's a dummy switch, and then that big man belly back through the middle, powering and links up with his number 9.
And that little offload
Cullen
there.
Cooper-Jones, and isn't he happy about it?
That little offload there. The Fijian flair coming out. He's not just big and strong. He's got that little bit of skill there to get that pill away to the young halfback.
They're very innovative there, playing off a back row. Not normally you'd see that. They just carry there, but changing the point of attack with a dummy switch, and Cullen running a great line and always present.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it from the Gallopers. Looking to play with the hands free in 2020. As Cooper-Jones adds the extras there, 52 points, plays 28. So we've already had 80 points, 55 minutes into this game. So both sides out here having an absolute dig.
We've seen some good footy here today, boys. Obviously 54 minutes into our first game, and there's been some back-to-back footy, which has been impressive.
Gee, the back 20 is going to be interesting.
And Whiteside opts to hammer that one long down the throat of Cooper-Jones. Natunaisa once again. Hands free. Here we go. Here come the Gallopers. Is that Rickwood? Great offload there. Finds Cooper-Jones.
Well done.
Straight off the first phase, deep inside. The Doggies 22 now, and it's Joshy Collins. All too easy from the young winger.
Wow.
Don't think they'll kick off to a belly again.
I'm not sure what the thought process is, but Belly Atunaisa again running rampant through the West pack to link up with his fellow teammates. You can see here just straight through, powering through the whole West forward pack, linking up with that man on the inside, Rick Wood, and then finishing off the job here. Bit of patience. Cooper-Jones does well to take the ball in, and they find this man out here. And as you said, Tommy Christie, you're not going to catch Josh Collins from anywhere on the park.
No way.
Look at the speed.
He's a rangy winger, is Josh Collins. We saw him just a couple of years ago. In only his, I think, second game of Premier grade was in a major semi-final.
That's normal though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely massive, and he just absolutely torched him out there. Probably one of the quickest in the competition in open space is Josh Collins.
I think a really pleasing thing with that last drive, you had a look, Josh still had 3 blokes on the outside of him, so it indicates that the boys are holding their width there really well, not getting gravitating towards more off a line break, so it gives them options to play off. Straight through.
And he absolutely nails that one.
His confidence is sky high at the moment.
Isn't he
Cullen
loving it?
Cooper-Jones, big smile on his face. The glue factory's starting to get loud.
He even looked straight at the camera. How good. He knows what he's doing.
Got the high top fade happening, Tommy.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what a high top fade is.
I'm loving it. I'm all about it. And Whiteside once again. Straight down the throat. And here comes Atunaisa again. Looks like he did the Doggies a favour and just conceded there a little bit.
He's probably blowing the poor bloke. He's run for 400 metres.
Jason Hoffmeyer on at 10.
Yeah, he stepped onto the park. And here we go now. Look at this. Ratu Vio. Oh, shot. Bart Ritchie comes from the outside in there. So the Doggies still bringing the thunder when they can. But the Gallopers looking really good, getting the ascendancy here and starting to choke the game away from the Doggies.
Step. That's Orvis. 15, no! 15 out!
Jono Kent being called out there, but Cooper Whiteside puts that one down. But referee and his assistant say, oh, that all went backwards. So, very lucky to get away with that one. There is Cooper Whiteside. John Martin Stewart. Here comes Shaky Campbell in the backfield. Breaks one tackle. But he is isolated there. And Duncan Mail saying Samiti Teller wasn't on the pill there. So, for anyone playing at home thinking that he was on that pill, and should have got the penalty. He was on the player and not a genuine threat on the ball. So there is a distinction between playing the man on the ground and the ball that the referees are actually hammering down on this season. So you might see some calls that you think might go one way, go the other this year. But good kick there from the Doggies. Now only 10 or so metres out from the Gallopers line. You'd have to think if they have any chance of coming back into this game, they're going to have to come away with some points here.
How many? In or out? You're out, 9.
Hawk opted to go for the short man there. Looks like there was a bit of a balk there from Richie, but they've said keep it going.
You're out now. Leaving.
And it's fractured stuff here, but it looks like they've been able to work it back. But that looks like it's going to be a collapsed ball here from the Doggies. And referee Duncan Mail says the exact same thing. So great work there from the Gallopers.
They're really coming into their own in this second half. They're starting to obviously grind West down and starting to come away with a few points. But just impressively here, Jable, I've got a message from Michael Atkinson, who reckons he could run down Josh Collins in his prime.
Atco is delusional. he's had a knee recon like 2 years ago.
In his prime, mate. He was as slow as a wet week.
Oh, in his prime? In his prime. Yeah, mate, he's losing it. We love you, Atco, but please.
Maybe 2014 Atco might have got maybe within
not
5.
Even close,
Didn't
mate.
he bag 6 tries against Logan Rugby in 2014, major semi-final or something like that at Ballymore?
Just asking.
Might have been under 12.
I was there cheering my brother on for the first 10 minutes until Atco, I think, scored 6 tries. So, look, I'll give him that. But I think Josh Collins would have him.
No. Wait.
Oh, there you go.
Don't you love it?
The young buck up against the old bull.
Look at him.
Liam Musher's obviously had enough there of Freddie Burke getting in his ear.
Sorry, and now it's Fred. What? Throwing the hands up.
What did I do? Interesting to see what happens this scrum, though.
I think Fred Burke's going to have a serious dig here on Liam Musher.
Straight through, mate. Let's up and back in.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Yeah, looking to get some early ascendancy here up both sides. Strong platform here from Jeeps. It looks like Liam Musher's been able to get up over Freddie, but referee Duncan Mail goes the other way. I like to see this one again here because it looks like Jeeps had the ascendancy.
You think Freddie's got away with one there, J-Ball?
Big time. Looks like I'd have to say, yeah, Doggies unlucky not to bag that one there, but you do tend to find at scrum time, once the team does get a little bit of ascendancy, more often than not, they will get the rub of the green if something does go down. So,
but it's impressive to see Liam Musher obviously stepping up, having a dig and going on with it there. He's obviously coming up against a vastly experienced tight head, but it's good to see him having a dig.
100%. It's great to see some new young front rowers getting into the mix there at the kennel. And there's been a sub there, big Aussie Vaimanu coming on. And with a chance for an early touch there.
Not sure you can do that.
Oh, Aussie's fuming. He's loving a big Aussie.
Mark's over here.
No, it's all good.
All friends.
So yeah, Gav Luke has now been given a spell, 60-odd minutes in, so now it's up to big Aussie Vaimanu. So you can't help but think that Liam Musher's going to be playing a full game of footy here. So interesting to see what Vaimanu can add to this scrum.
Bind. Set.
Good strong platform there. Dongy. Long ball finds Shea Lalanavasi. Shea Lalanavasi off his left, off his right. Gets the hands free. Finds Dongy. Beats one. Does well to stay in touch there. Short ball. Skelton.
Goal! No! Backwards.
Ball goes backwards there and it's just spilling around and Usha does well to field it.
No, out!
Puliovea. And diving over there by Kawayatha.
Easy intensity stepped up, hasn't it?
And he's shown a bit of cheese here, has Duncan Mail. See who he's sent off. It might be bigger Mossy Takiri.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it is Mossy Takiri.
Got back in that scrum with a prop down.
Yeah, it's a weird one there, you'd have to think. They must really be looking to have an onus on that rolling maul this season, you'd have to think. But it's worked wonders for them in the opening 65 odd minutes here. There's JR in the background. He said to give him a shout out, saying that one son is the skipper of reserve grade, the other son's the skipper of premier grade. So he said, I needed to give him a shout out. Oh, here we go, the doggies! All too easy in the end.
Skelton over for his second.
Skelton shears away there off that line-out maul. Does well to get a try here. 15 odd minutes. Might be a bridge too far here for the doggies, but that is a step in the right direction and exactly what they needed with 15 odd minutes to go. And it's just a bit too easy here. They were able to get Dearden up. And a few times today they've sheared that maul off and decided to go 2 or 3 down that blind side. And it's paying dividends. And big Jez Skelton doesn't he froth it.
Yeah, a bit of feeling starting to emerge into the game a bit, which is good to see.
All about it. It'll be Cooper Whiteside looking to add the extras, and all points on offer need to be bagged here for the doggies if they're going to be any shot here at clawing back this lead. But again, we want to give a very special mention to the major sponsors of both Jeeps Rugby and West Rugby Club. For Jeeps in particular, it is Hide for Hire, their major sponsor, and for the doggies, it is Metal Construction. And Whiteside now, as we see the sun setting here at Yoku Road. And it looks like he's just sprayed that one out to the right there, Cooper Whiteside. So, doesn't do the doggies any favours in clawing back this 26-point lead. And Jeeps now just taking their time, coming back up to the halfway, looking to wind that clock down.
Entry, yeah? Watch down there.
It's getting pretty chilly here down at Yoku Road now. Not wearing a jacket, very stupidly, not going to lie.
Wait.
Usha. Good strong run there from Usha. Whiteside steps into first receiver. Opps will just put that one on the toe and get the gallopers turning around.
Absolutely. Over halfway.
I'd love to see him step up into that first receiver a little bit more, especially as this game obviously progresses. But I think for West to be a little bit more effective, he needs to get in that first ball playing role.
Absolutely. He's more of a senior figure in this West back line now with the departures of the likes that you mentioned before.
And Hoffmeyer now finds Ratu Vio, who's been absolutely massive for Jeeps today. And Jeeps now just looking to work their way up over the half. And Nick Dongy looking to get the hand up there to intercept that one. Unfortunately going to the deck and giving away the penalty in the process.
Yeah, option was there to come back with a retreating D. Just got to be a bit square when they go up the line there, Jeeps, to free out the outside runners.
Yeah, just there.
And it looks like wasn't a Mossy Takiri that went off that got the yellow card before. That would have been Andrew Damalu, Carl Yatha. So, down a flanker there. Probably why they opted to go for the line out as well.
Good call. What do we know?
We're good here, aren't we? Only the finest. But just a shade over 10 minutes here. Jean-Martin Stewart goes through, sticks the arm out. And Rickwood does well to hang on. And big Aussie by Manu. Carmichael, Dongy.
Oy.
Fletcher Spicer sings that one nice and wide to Brett. Narvo Lungi comes off the right. Beats one there, Narvo Lungi. Does well to get inside the 22.
Counter's good.
Good counter ruck.
Great counter ruck there coming in from Jeeps.
Oh.
Well and truly cannot do that.
Look who it is, the great man, Freddie Burke.
Freddie Burke.
No,
He's absolutely everywhere.
He's played a bloody good game thus far, hasn't he, Freddie
Look
Burke?
at that counter.
Oh, good stuff. He cops a shoe to the chest just for good measure.
He'll have ruck marks there tomorrow and he'll absolutely froth on it.
He'll probably go to the tattoo parlour and get it tattooed on his chest as a memento for the rest of his life. But here we go, Miley Naamo with the throw. He's been good, big Miley. Had a big weekend, as we said, becoming a father overnight. Coming down, picking up a bit of meat here for the Gallopers as well.
Oh, shooter.
Ratu Vio. And here comes the counter ruck now for the Doggies. Jacob Carmichael does well to get that pill. Skelton with the pick and go. Breaks the first tackle. And gets that little pop off the ground to Bart Ritchie.
Ball's out. Knock on.
Referee Duncan Mail saying ball was out.
Yeah.
Kieran Johnson stinging.
Bit of cramp.
Oh, Bart Ritchie's not looking in good shape here either.
No, he's not.
No.
Poor guy.
And I think if Bart goes down, Bronson Fotuali'i, Tawakapulu's still a week off from coming back. So,
Chips.
That ruck before.
can you imagine? He would be hating that. No, it might be HT 400, Hunter Thomas.
So, I'll penalise him.
You prefer chips, wouldn't you?
I hear what you're saying.
I prefer uncontested, to be honest.
Yeah, they've got a man in the game.
Oh, no.
No, we love you, Hunter.
Yeah.
Look at Bart. What a beautiful man. Bless him.
Oh, mate.
Do you want to just check him out?
Sensational.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan. And that's the man we're talking about right there. Bronson Fotuali'i Takapulu. An absolutely massive unit.
You all right?
He was in great form at the back end of last year for the Doggies and Queensland country. Absolutely decimated some of the opposition in that NRC campaign. So it'll be good for the Doggies to get him back in the mix.
Goal ball. Knock on.
You see young John Downs coming on for the GPS side.
Yeah, Downsy's, I think, might be his first or second cap in Premier grade. He's a very abrasive player, and his physicality is well beyond his years. He rips in at training, and he's got definitely a big future down here at Jeeps. I think he was a back rower, but turned front row because he was the strongest in the team. And that's what they put him up there.
Nah, seeing him playing for Rezzies before this in open space, you can tell he's got a good pedigree on him. But
he's an Australian weightlifting champion,
One on your lock.
Olympic lifting champion.
I was thinking about doing that. Just going to be stuff, to be honest. So, good to see Downsy picking up the slack.
Set.
The Doggies now just outside the 22. Scrum goes down. Says,
Would he have the wheels?
Oh,
no way.
Love to have seen that.
Oh.
Easy, fellas.
Yeah. Not happy.
Spewing about it.
Just wait, 2 balls.
Oh, that would have been good, wouldn't it? That would have been sensational. I mean, I know, look, Abele Atunais has been absolutely massive today, picking up 3 tries and plenty of touches. But for mine, I'd have to say Ratu Vio has been
impressive.
He has been
One goal.
absolutely awesome. And he actually fills that sort of Mitch King role very well.
Absolutely.
A lot of touches, but really good around the fringes as well. Really good in the tight stuff.
And he showed his versatility with his ball playing skill capacity for the try that Cullen went over. Yeah, with as well.
Yeah, I'll watch for it.
There he is. Chips Blanche is in the mixer.
I think he just whistled the bar. Don't throw it at me. If he goes over here, Jay Moore.
Oh, mate, we're going off. Good stuff there. Good, strong clean out there from Richard Blanche.
He's just holding width well.
It's over here. No. Put it up. Jason.
And again, looking to go for touch here. The Doggies definitely seeing their line out as a strength.
Probably not the best place to be throwing a line out right in front of what is the glue factory, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it can make any man shudder down in that right-hand corner known as the glue factory. Good pill there. Richie finds Middleton. They work this one to the back. And it's Chips Blanche at the back. Feeds it off to Bart Ritchie. Penalty advantage there. Carmichael opts to go down the right-hand touchline. Cooper Whiteside with about 1 on 4. Does well to stay in touch, but they do have that penalty advantage. And it's Timoteo now, I think, with the touch. And Middleton looks to go over, I think. And it's try time! Jack Middleton, the young back rower, picks up a try, and they're just racking up points here today, both the Gallopers and the Doggies. As I said before, might be a bridge too far, still 21 points in it, but anything can happen.
We had 17 entries as well as 2, didn't we?
We've got some big ball carriers, West. They're very dangerous once they get this close to the line. They're going to be a hard team to stop as this season evolves. Oh.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. It's good to see Jack Middleton getting some good minutes here. So, skipper of the West Colts a couple of years ago when they went deep into the finals. Real good head and shoulders, really mature footy player for his age. It's pretty as a picture, isn't it, Tommy Christie?
Oh, isn't it God's country? It's turning it on today.
Gets pretty chilly once the sun goes behind those mountains, though, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
You should know that, mate.
It's probably
You're wearing pluggers, Tommy.
Yeah, I am.
Hectic.
I think growing up in Warwick sort of served me well, though. Great kick.
Cooper Whiteside absolutely nails that one. So the lead now only 19 points. It'll be a hell of a comeback if the Doggies are able to sneak this one in.
Chips Blanche turning the game.
He's known around the kennel as the White Morpheus, because when he plays those day games, he just full zincs up the face, and he's got some trippy Morpheus-style sunny, so he likes to chop around as the White Morpheus does Big Chips Blanche.
Sun safety doesn't take a holiday.
Oh, mate, it's shocking. It's shocking. It's like an inch layer thick. Here we go, Missy! Timoteo!
Boys are blowing.
Yeah. Really important here that G's don't slacken off, but West a bit of momentum.
Skelton, Spicer, great pill there! Dongy, back yourself, Dongy! Try time! Nick Dongy, here we go! The Doggies coming back here!
I was actually just about to say, Jay, but Jeeps would be really keen to close this game out, but West nonetheless, great opportunity using the footy, and they'll be really disappointed with their kick chase. Look, letting the carry get to midfield without a pass isn't acceptable, and West good enough to score.
And it looks like just there as well, Savitella went down with a busted shoulder and all of that, but wasn't this a good little interchange of play. Fletcher Spicer came through the Win and Bugs program, won himself a Colts 3 premiership just a few years ago, came over the kennel by way of Shrecko. Big Shrecko brought him over. Now Shrecko's gone to the nest, but Fletcher Spicer stayed around. He's getting a crack here at outside centre. Hasn't had too much to say today, but that was a silky little touch there from the young centre.
Jeremy Skelton's been very, very busy and quite impressive in that number 6 jersey for them.
He's got a big motor for a big man.
He does. He split his time between 12 and the back row, but I think he's really found his position there in the back row.
100%. 100%. And he's got a bloody good pedigree, as we said. Ernie Skelton, then he's got Conrad, Jarrell Skelton in the 7s, Lorenzo's at the Colts program at West as well, and he's a hell of a player himself, so I'm sure I missed one or two of them, and I apologise.
Big
if
Richie.
I did. Richie
He's still in Japan.
Yep. So they breed them pretty bloody well there in the Skelton clan. And Cooper Whiteside just sprays that one off to the right there.
14-point ball game.
Do we have super time here in QPR footy?
I wish we had 50-22s as well.
Yeah.
Or an egg and spoon race. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Who would you pick for an egg and spoon race out of West?
Bart.
Bart?
Yeah. He's been carrying an egg his whole life. And just 2 minutes or so here to go in the opening round of the All Sports Physiotherapy Queensland Hospital Challenge Cup for 2020. And we've got a high-scoring game. Over 100 points already. Are there more to come?
Young Jacob Stour on an 18 for Jeeps.
Yeah, they're ringing the changes. Both sides are. And there's another brilliant clearing kick there from Cooper Whiteside.
He's got a shoe on him.
He's got a good skill base on him, doesn't Cooper Whiteside? As you said, steps into that 10 role very easily and distributes well. Good skill base from the young fullback.
Nigel Genya on in 21, rocking a contemporary hairstyle.
Contemporary, that's how you call it. God, we're old. Mature, that's what it is. Experience, wise.
Oh dear.
Oh, Teller. With a bludger of a pass there. Oh, shot coming in. I think Cooper Jones might have pinged a hemi in the process there.
He's gone to the wing. He's no good.
Yeah, no, he's stinging bad.
Hopefully it's just cramp.
Pulled up.
Hopefully it's just cramp.
Skelton's gone down, I think, with cramp as well. Looks like the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan out there. It is absolutely bodies everywhere. Can't do that, Aussie Vaimanu, but referee Duncan Mail sees that one. Oh, straight through, Atunahisa!
Surely.
Cooper Whiteside is gone, thank God.
Yeah, he's thanking heavens for that one.
Offside.
Look at him. Look at him. Absolute unit, bless him. And he's seen that one from a mile, straight up the guts, but he's done well.
What's he put him up for?
I don't know. Is it in front of the ball when you picked it up? Or what was
No, I think they had penalty advantage for something, and yeah, as you said, in front of the ruck.
Pass the ball. Fair enough.
Tap it though. Yeah.
Tap, go, into touch. And that rounds out. Full time here at Yoku Road. And it's the Jeeps Gallopers getting up over the West Bulldogs. 59 points to 45 in the first round of the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. And we've got a high scoring affair, well over 100 points scored here at Yoku Road. And what a hell of a game to start the season off now.
Mate, absolutely fantastic. Some impressive play from both sides. Obviously a few things to work on, but hey, what a game of rugby.
And Tommy, mate, you must be absolutely chuffed seeing the Gallopers get up, both Resies and Premier grade. Good day out for the Gallopers.
Yeah, look, West over the last couple of years have been the thorn in our side, and come out here first game on the new format to get 2 wins in the top 2 grades, but also the whole club went pretty well overall, which is great to see, and really great to have footy back locally.
Oh, mate, it is an absolute dream. There's nowhere better. 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, chilly day, few tins, few lads, terrible banter, watching a bit of code. It's absolutely fantastic. But guys, I mean, we've seen Jeeps come out absolutely firing, and talking before the game, Elvie said he reckons the Doggies, they're the dark horse. But Dow, you're saying South, they could be a dark horse. We've got a condensed season. It's one and gun. Every team plays everyone once, 4 points. So it's going to be absolutely lights out, hard, balls to the wall footy.
Absolutely. I think what the season does is it gives everyone the opportunity kind of to win the competition. You play everyone once, everyone's going to have a bad day here and there. So if you can stay injury free and be consistent throughout the season, it's anyone's game.
And it was actually exciting to see both sides looking really, really fit. I thought after the COVID break you might see some blokes blowing a lot more than they were, but I mean, that's a credit to both sides. And
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
The Gallopers look great out there, Tom.
Yeah, look, we've ran a fair bit, to be honest with you, over this COVID break, and going out there, and I think, it was evident with the points being scored. There's a lot of running in these games, which has been great to see, and hopefully that trend continues.
And let's have a look to next week, round 2, Bond versus Sunnybank. That is going to be an absolute barn burner of a game, because we've seen Bond the last 2 years, they start really slow. But talking to LV, and if you watch the game footage from last week, they look really good, and I think they could be a real sleeper this year.
Absolutely.
I agree. What I think they've done is kept the nucleus of players together for the first time in a very, very long time. So it's going to be impressive to see how they go.
And they tend to recruit some random players that seem to come out of nowhere that tend to be absolutely fantastic. You know, your Zaki Moy-Moys, your Kieran Van Brechts, those sort of guys. Dan Borman, they tend to get these guys and develop them well through a pathway. And then you've got Brothers versus Norths at Crosby Park. The North Side derby, no matter how they're tracking, that one is always so feisty. And then we can see here Rob Pullialvea leading the side off, and they're giving themselves a tunnel. It was an absolute belter of a game out here today. As we said, a high-scoring fixture. The Gallopers coming away with the butter confection. But Tommy Christie and Dale Murphy, thanks very much for joining us, lads. It was absolutely awesome.
No, thanks, Joe. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's good to be back.
And thank you to everybody out there. My name's Jay Borstorton. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for round 2 of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup.